Good morning friends. Today we will discuss about multiplexer, or in short form it is known as mux. Mux means many inputs and one output depending upon the selectant. So the number of inputs might be anything, but the output will be always 1. Okay, the formula for the mux is 2 raised to n is to 1. That is, so it is having 2 raised to n inputs, where n is the select lines and 1 is your output. Okay, so in general, so how the mux can be designed, or the block diagram is, so it is having 2 raised to n mux, so where 2 raised to n is the input, 1 is the output, and n is your select lines. So different types of muxes are 2 is to 1 mux, 4 is to 1, and 8 is to 1, 16 is to 1, 32 is to 1, like this it will be just going on. So normally for your syllabus it will be having 2 is to 1, 4 is to 1, and 8 is to 1. So first we'll just discuss about the 2 is to 1 and its operation. Okay, first, so it is a block diagram of the 2 is to 1 mux. Okay, before coming to here, so you are having the formula as 2 raised to n is to 1. Okay, that is 2 raised to 1 is to 1. So it is having two inputs, that is I0 and I1, one select line and one output. So normally the 2 is to 1 mux will be having, depending upon the formula, that is two inputs, one select line and one output. So this one is the truth table, that is S is your select line. So since it is only one select line, so we are having two combinations, 0 as well as 1. Okay, now we'll just cross check as the output Y. So at the output Y, so we'll be having Y. When the select line is 0, obviously the I0 will be selected, and when S is equal to 1, I1 will be selected. So I am taking it as I0 and I1 means, so whatever the value will be having I0, that is if it is having 0 or it is having 1, at the output will be just getting that value. Whether it's, if it is 0, you will be getting it as 0, and if it is 1, you will be getting it as 1. So when the select line is 0, always I0 will be selected. If the I0 value is having 0, you will be getting it as 0. If the I0 value is 1, it will be displayed as 1. If the select line is 1, obviously the I1 will be selected. So it is having, if it is 0, then it is 0 or it is 1. The formula is, see here, y0 is equal, y is equal to s bar I0. Since it is 0, s is 0, we are taking it as s bar into I0 plus, since s is equal to 1, we will consider it as s I1. Now we will discuss about 4 is to 1 mux. The formula is 2 raised to n is to n, that is 2 square is to 1. So 2 square means 4 inputs, that is I0 to I3, n is 2, so the two select lines S0 and S1, and obviously 1 is your output. So this one is the block diagram of your 4 is to 1 mux, where I0, I1, I2, I3 are the inputs, S0 and S1 is also inputs, but those are the select lines, and Y is your output. Okay, now the truth table is, since it is having two select lines, so obviously it will be having 4 combinations, 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. Okay, so now when the both the select lines are 0 0, I0 will be selected. In the same fashion, when S0 is 0 and S1 is 1, I1 is selected. 1 0 I2 and 1 1 is your I3, and this one is your formula. Y means Y is equal to S0 bar S1 bar I0 plus S0 bar S1 I1 plus S0 S1 bar I2 and plus S0 S1 I3. So this one is your formula for your 4 is to 1 mux. Okay, now so just go through your, next is your design 4 is to 1 mux using 2 is to 1 mux. So we require 3 2 is to 1 mux, but 4 is to 1 mux will be having 2 select lines, and 2 is to 1 mux will be having 1 select lines. Okay, so since we are using 3 2 is to 1 mux, so it will have 3 select lines. So what we'll do is, we will arrange in this fashion, and we'll just short the two 2:1 mux with S0 and 1 with your S1. So this one is the structure of your 4:1 mux using 2:1 mux. Okay, next. So now the truth table varies a little bit. For 0 0, see, first 2:1 mux we are having two inputs I0 and I1, and the next 2:1 mux is having I2 and I3. So the two outputs of your 2:1 mux is been acting as the input to the third 2:1 mux with the select lines as S1. Okay, so when both the inputs are 0 0, that is when S0 is 0, for the first 2:1 mux it is selected as I0, and the second 2:1 mux will be having I2 as your output. So at this fashion it will be having, here it is having I0 and here it is having I2. When once again S1 is 0, the first, that is I0, is been getting as the output. So here it is I0. Okay, next when S0 is 0 and S1 is 1, so obviously it is I0 and I2. So when S1 is 1, obviously your I2 will be selected, so it is having a I2. Next, when S0 is 1, here it is selected as I1, and in this mux it is selected as I3. So obviously when S1 is 0, the first one is being selected as the output, that is your I1. So here it is, and the next one it is 1 1. So S1 is 1, I3 is been getting here, and S1 is 1, so I3 will be getting as the output. So this is your 4:1 mux using 2:1 mux select line. Okay, next. So next, in the same fashion you can just go for your designing of your 8:1 mux, which is having 3 select lines. Okay, S0, S1 and S0. So we will be having 0 0 0 to 1 1 1. So obviously it is having I0, I1, I2 to I7. In the next second 8:1 mux using only 2:1 mux. Now obviously you have designed now for your 4:1 mux. It is just the copy paste, so another form and another. So you require here nearly 7 2:1 mux. Okay, the first 4 you are having S0 as select line, the next 2 will be having S1 as your select line, and the last one will be having your S2 as your select line. So in the same fashion we can design 8:1 mux using 4:1 and as well as 2:1 mux. So we require here 2 4:1 mux and 1 2:1 mux. Okay, just try by yourself, and if you are having any queries you can just contact. Okay, thank you.